Hello, I am Scout83 and you're watching an Avatar Conquest video. Believe it or not, this is the first battle I have ever fielded Great Guard. I brought 2 of them to this battle. I have seen other players use Great Guard and they've been very effective against me, but I had never actually myself used them. So I thought I would try them. I'm going to cover this battle in 2 parts, the cavalry and then the infantry. In this battle, both parts are very separate from each other. Cavalry plays almost no part, well, really no part, in the infantry battle. Only a little bit of infantry affects the cavalry battle, so they're pretty much completely separate. So, with that in mind, I'm going to show you the battle. What you're seeing here is some of my light infantry getting run off by some of his warrior monk cavalry. I pull up my light cavalry and I bring them back up behind them, but that's not to engage. While I'm doing this, I'm bringing up my Great Guard units, my 2 units of Great Guard to join in before I try anything. My goal here is to take this building. I'll bring up infantry behind it and I'll capture this building because this is a morale building. I think it's going to be important to the battle, which is why I'm trying to clear out the cavalry. Once my Great Guard are joined in, I begin moving my cavalry to try to sweep in and hit them on all sides. My opponent at this point unleashes the rest of his cavalry, which is an extra 3 units of well-trained cavalry, consisting of 2 Yari Cav and 2 Neganata Warrior Monk Cav. My light cav runs into Neganata Warrior Monk Cav. Cut down quickly, as the Great Guard tries to fight off the rest of his cavalry. Now his warrior monks, having defeated my light cavalry, are now joining in the battle to try to beat my Great Guard. While this is happening, I peel off a unit of Katana Samurai and throw them into the mix. I hope there'll be enough to turn the tide of this engagement. But all my efforts are wasted. It's all too little too late, and I lose this part of the engagement. I'm going to rewind now and show you the infantry part of the battle. My army, seen here under the green banners, has its front line made up of Naginata soldiers. Marching with that front line are 3 bow units. Behind that I have a reserve of 2 Katana Samurai and 1 Lone Sword Ashigaru. Of greatest importance on this map is this hill, and as you can see, my opponent is getting there a lot faster than I am. This is because I am not going straight for the hill. I am moving slightly to the left in order to move towards the morale building. My opponent, on the other hand, is going straight up that hill, which is exactly what you want to do. You want to get that hill first, especially when it's as predominant as that hill is. You can see my Great Guard units here pushing into the cavalry battle, and that's in relation to where we are now in this battle. My sword troops, unfortunately, are falling behind. I'm sweeping them out, moving them towards the building, and not keeping them with the unit, which is going to pull them further and farther away from the main line. My opponent's army is mostly made of Katana Samurai. His Katana Samurai are very well upgraded, plus on top of that, Katana Samurai are just really good in a straight-up fight anyway. This factor makes it extremely important that I get to that hill first, but as you can see here, it doesn't happen. He gets there first and gets the advantage of being able to charge downhill. Unfortunately, I had been so distracted with the cavalry battle that I didn't realize he had taken the hill. Once I saw that he had taken the hill, I began rushing my units around to try to form them into a defensive position, which is a bad idea on a downward slope. To further complicate things, he's got all of his melee troops forward of his line, which means that his line now outextends mine. This, in combination with the powerful charge downhill, puts me in a very, very bad position. My sword infantry is still way back behind my lines, and I need to move them up fast to get them into the battle. I peel off one unit of the Katana Samurai in order to try to free up my cavalry. I try to rush my remaining reserves up that hill to get them into the fight, but it's a long way up. I let them fall way too far behind for them to be any use in this battle. As my reserves get into battle, my army is already breaking. At this point, it's obvious defeat is certain, as what remains of my army fights on. This battle's pretty easy to analyze. I needed to take the hill. His army was just too good, and without the bonus of having that hill and charging down on his force, I probably wouldn't have stood much of a chance anyway. On top of that, I let my forces get too spread out, and they weren't able to support each other when the critical moment hit. My opponent, on the other hand, had everything pretty much set the way it's supposed to be. He had everything concentrated. He had good maneuver. He was able to get around my line, keep my, defeat my army before, and I was able to reinforce it. Pretty much had everything going for it. And I don't say it that way to diminish what he did, because what he did was very good. It's what needed to be done, how I should have done it. It was a very sound strategy, where I was sloppy and slow. Anyway, I want to say good game to my opponent. He did a very good job. Again, always feel free to comment on any of my videos, included, of course, this one included. And thank you for watching.